how did Jesus interact with society? And you're right, Andrea, there was never the tyranny of the urgent.
Right.
Didn't he always just slow things down?
Yeah.
And that's what you did. You sound like you were more successful than I was, because I think I started like beating the table. Why are you talking to women this way? You actually had a really great understanding. How did you move people, to what you felt would be a more Christ-like way? What did you replace the tyranny of the urgency with?
Well, so here's what's fascinating is that it took a little while, but I think slowly what I started hearing was relief, right?
From your team.
Yeah. So relief
Why?
from the team that there was not an expectation from the top, so from leadership, that they needed to be results driven, right? And so they started hearing and experiencing here within the center a much more relational approach that gave them freedom, and they actually liked the freedom. And so what might have been resistant at first quickly moved to, I started hearing things like, this feels so much better. Right.
So grace for themselves first?
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Right. You set up an atmosphere of grace.
Yeah.
You're not responsible for this. We have a big God who is.
Yep.
And they were able to receive that. So they'd almost been operating under legalism performance for themselves.
Absolutely. And they could feel the pressure of it, right? So the pressure, whether it is the idea of changing somebody's mind about abortion. So, or whether it's even, as you said, I have to convince them to accept Jesus, right? Those two things I don't think we realize how much pressure we put on ourselves, right? And I can see that now. I functioned for a long time under the pressure of sharing the gospel, and that I had to. And so every time somebody doesn't want to go there with you in that kind of a conversation, you walk away feeling like a failure, right? And so I think for our team, they thought there was an expectation of, I have to do these things. And so they were living under that pressure. And yet they also were feeling the weight of, I'm not persuasive enough. I don't see the numbers changing. This doesn't feel like it. I don't see success in this.